In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you 3 voice workflows that take care of 80% of the admin work an assistant would normally do for you. This isn't just about taking voice notes that sit in your phone forever. Imagine an assistant that can instantly turn those raw, messy recordings into tasks, projects, ideas, and meeting agendas. That's exactly what Tana does. It takes your voice notes and automatically organizes them in your system, ready to use. I'm Ev, and I've spent years helping knowledge professionals build systems that actually work. I've tested dozens of productivity workflows, and what I'm about to show you is the closest thing I found to having an AI chief of staff. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use your voice inside Tana to handle all of your operations. Think meeting prep, project kickoffs, client briefs, caption in seconds using your voice, and organized automatically by Tana. But before we jump in, if you don't have time to watch endless YouTube tutorials and you just want to build a high-performing digital workspace that works harder than you do, then check out my Tana Fast Track course. It will get you up and running in Tana, well, fast. First, you'll learn all the fundamentals in just over an hour. Next, you choose from our 6 core workflow templates that are simple plug and play. There's not 86 super tags to deal with. You choose what templates you need to customize your workflow. And you also have our TFT community to ask questions and get direct help from me, plus a load of other resources. Over 600 people have already taken Tana Fast Track and loved it. So if you want to get on the Tana Fast Track, I'll leave a link in the description below. It's like Tana was made for workflows like this. Not only does it have built-in voice input through the Tana mobile app, it also integrates AI and has the ability to structure information so you can find it again. So when all those 3 combine, what you get is a really powerful tool to be able to just speak unstructured thoughts and have Tana clean them up for you. So let me talk you through these 3 workflows. The first workflow is the morning brief. And this is where I think most knowledge professionals lose time every single day. You wake up, you check your phone, you open your laptop, and suddenly your head's spinning with all of the things that you need to do today. This workflow takes all the stuff that's going on in your head, captures it via voice, and then Tana handles automatically organizing it all for you. So you sit down at your computer later and everything is ready to go. Seriously, when you see this workflow, your eyes are going to pop out of your head. So let's have a look. Now, all these workflows are based on a tag where we tag a voice note and then AI command that we run that looks at the voice note and does all of the organization. So this particular one, the morning brief agent, has a tag called morning brief. So all you have to do is create a tag, morning brief, in your Tana workspace and then record a voice note and tag it with morning brief. Okay, so I've done this one here, and as you can see, if we open this up, it's got a little source material, or let's zoom in. So it's source material here. So this is the voice memo that I captured this morning, right? Now, if I run this agent, what's going to happen is it's going to pull out a summary of what I talked about. It's then going to pull out tasks. It's going to tag them. It's going to attach projects to them. It's going to pull out any projects that I wanted to start and also any ideas that I talked about. So this is what I mean by your eyes popping out of your head. The first time I ran this and I saw how good Tana actually was, or AI in Tana was, at taking very, very raw stuff where I'm just kind of brain dumping and then organizing it to the point where I just sit down and everything is good to go. Like, that's magic to me, right? So all of these, as I said, they have a project, okay, a related project. So that it's really, really good in how it kind of extracts and knows what it's doing. So let me show you what this, how this agent is set up. So if we go to the morning brief super tag and we open that up, come here to AI and commands, and now I've got it here in, let's make this bigger, in the compact menu, okay? I wouldn't usually have it in that compact menu as a button. I would usually have it here in on added, okay? So we're gonna add it down here. And all that means is that as soon as I speak that voice note, tag it with morning brief, this runs automatically. And when I'm back at my desk, all the tasks are already there, ready to go, okay? I just had it up here just so I can press the button and show you how it actually does work, okay? So let's open this up. So it's an Ask AI command, all right? And the way to create this is just come in here and go morning brief, processing agent, convert that to a command, and then you want to add the Ask AI. All right. And then we'll add some configuration in here. So the first one is the prompt, and then I'll show you the rest in this actual one here. Okay. Now this is a pretty in-depth prompt. Okay. And the reason for this is I have used this for quite a long time. And as I use it, I kind of iterate on it as I go. So the first thing, and all these prompts are structured pretty much the same way. So I'm going to talk in free form and go through all the things that I'm thinking about this morning, right? So I just tell it kind of like what's going to happen, right? Then I'm going to give you the transcript of those unstructured thoughts, and you're going to clean them up into kind of a cleaned up format. Okay. So I then tell it the things that it's going to extract. So first, give me a summary of the transcript. When writing the output, don't use the word speaker, speak in first person like I was writing it. And then I also say this, like, don't just list out everything I say, actually summarize and synthesize it. Next, you're going to pull out any action items I talk about and list them one per line and tag them as action. Now you can see here, if we just go out a little bit and find that action again. Okay, so here. So whenever you want Tana, or whenever you want the AI to tag something, the best way to do that in your prompt is to have a hashtag, double brackets, and then the name of the actual tag. I'm going to give you many more bonus tips on how to prompt AI in Tana to get this structured data, but that is just one of them. Okay, so once you've done that, here, when listing tasks, try to find an appropriate project that I'm already working on and add it to a field corp related project. Okay, so this is real where Tana gets really smart, right? So in any of your prompts, you can actually add searches. So this is a search that looks for all of my current projects. So any projects that are work in progress, core work, or back burner. And so then Tana has the details that it needs in order to insert the right project with the task that I'm talking about. Okay, now I've got some details on like how it should find projects because sometimes it gets it wrong. So I've iterated on this quite a lot, especially with client delivery. So it tried to match a client delivery task with a client delivery project, those kinds of things. And then I ask it if a task consists of creating an email or a text for someone, provide a bit of a draft for me. I find that great because then I can kind of like take that and kind of, get started pretty quickly in like replying to someone. So then we talk about pulling out projects. Okay, tagging that with project. Then we talk about pulling out ideas, non-actionable ideas, and listing them as Spark ideas. Okay, and down here is just how I want it output. Okay, so I want the summary with the output, the tasks, projects, ideas, and it lists it very well. Then the very last thing, and I find this helps a lot with the AI, is telling it how to output it as Tana paste format. And this is going to make sure that all of your output is tagged correctly, fields are in there correctly, all of those kinds of things. So, and I use this on pretty much all the prompts now. When outputting tagged items, use Tana paste format, and then I list the item with the tag. Okay, so this is how it should understand how to put tags in. Then indent and fields should follow this particular formatting. So line, then a field, and then 2 semicolons. That's kind of how fields work in Tana paste. And then any other details kind of on a bullet line. Okay. Then we want to tell it where to find the transcript. Okay. So here's the transcript. And then to add the source in, which is where you find the transcript, you just go at source and you find it here in the list. Okay, really, really easy. And then the only other fields you want to add is insert output strategy, and that should always be child, so it comes in underneath your, look inside the super tag. The temperature is always set to 0 here. We don't want it to get creative. We just want it to pull out structured data. And then the AI model, all of these ones that I'm going to show you today, I personally use Claude Sonnet 4 because I like the depth of it. So especially, a lot of when I'm doing a morning brief, I don't actually dump a lot of tasks and projects. Today was a bit different, but a lot of the times I'm dumping ideas. And I want to get a depth of those ideas that I know that Claude Sonnet can pull out, rather than if I was just kind of more task and project heavy, I would definitely use GPT-4o or Gemini. But my suggestion is try a few different models because different models will work in different ways for you. And so that's the morning brief workflow. This takes about 30 minutes of like mentally me trying to organize things and turns it into like a 3-minute voice note. And now let me show you how to do the exact same thing, but when preparing for the meetings that you have for the day. So if you're like most knowledge professionals, meetings are a normal part of your day. So this workflow lets you prepare for the entire day of meetings with a single voice note. Okay, so if you've got, 2, 3, 4, 7 meetings, you can actually just prepare for every single meeting with one single voice note, and this meeting prep agent organizes it all for you. Now, I have done this for myself this morning. I only have one meeting for the day, okay? But if I had multiple, I would talk about multiple things. You can see here I've got some source material, okay? So that's my voice memo. And when I run the meeting prep agent, what happens is it will list all of the agenda items for that particular meeting. For each agenda item, it's also pulling in the person I'm meeting with and the related meeting. Okay, so that means that when I go to the meeting, all of the agenda items are there ready for me, and I don't have to associate anything. And then it also lists any tasks that I have to do to prepare for the meeting. So for this particular one, I had to check about a YouTube transcript feature. And this is so good. And imagine if you had 5 meetings in the day and you could just do a quick 10-minute voice dump, and then all of those things were organized and attached to each of your meetings. Like, how much time would that save you? So let's have a look at how this one's set up. So if we go to our meeting prep super tag, now same thing here is we want to go to AI and commands, and I put this into compact menu because I wanted to show you how it worked, but usually it would be on added. Okay, so I would come in, do a voice note, tag it with meeting prep, and this would run automatically. So if we come in here and have a look at this, it's again an AI command, and it runs pretty much the same as we did for the first workflow. So I'm going to talk in free form and go through all the things I'm thinking about in regards to the meetings I have on today. I'll talk through both agenda items, so things that I need to talk about, and tasks, things I need to do before the meeting. I'm going to give you that transcript of those unstructured thoughts, and you're going to clean those up for me. Now, this one in particular, what we're doing is rather than just having a search with today's meetings, we're putting this inside a field called expand references. And what that does is instead of just sending the meeting name off to AI, it's sending all of the details of the meeting. So the related person, anything that's already in the meeting. So it has full context on all of those meetings. And that's going to help in a little while when we want it to then insert the person and those kinds of things. Okay. So then we just say list agenda items on a separate line with the tag agenda, and then list tasks on a separate line with the tag action. We tell it the Tana paste format. And so you can see here, this is where I'm pulling in some of the details that are getting expanded here. Okay, so on related people, okay, look for the person in the related people field in the meeting and insert as a Tana reference here, not me. Okay, so I have to specify who I am. I don't need to be inserted. And then here for the related meeting, insert the meeting as a Tana reference here. Okay, so I find saying things like insert as a Tana reference works very well for things like this because the AI already understands what that Tana reference is. Then we come here and we just have the output as follows and the transcript source. All right. Again, I use Claude Sonnet for this. It's really easy and it kind of captures a lot of that nuance that I have in my voice workflows. I found this completely changed my relationship with my calendar. So instead of seeing a day full of meetings as a little bit stressful, I find it so easy to prep for meetings now just with this one tag that then organizes everything for me. So I hope you're starting to see the pattern here that voice can eliminate the friction between what you're thinking and actually having to organize that. But here is where it gets really powerful if you're doing any kind of project or client work. So this workflow lets you brain dump everything about a new project in one voice session, and Tana will automatically structure it into a full project framework. So I've got here a voice note that I recorded this morning on a new project that I want to run called AI powered commands in Tana. Okay. Now this one in particular, I don't run on automatic. I run as a button, and that's because it runs on a project note, and project notes they're not always related to a project kickoff. So this one does need to be pressed, but it runs really well. So what I do is if I've got a new project happening, do a voice recording and just brain dump everything that I'm thinking about that project. Okay. And this is what you see. I tag this with a note called project note, and I relate the project to it. So then when I'm, back at my desk, I just click this button, and what happens is all of the tasks for this project start to get listed. Okay, so it'll go through everything that I said. It will also kind of like understand, okay, this is a workshop, these are some of the things we have to do. You can see that it relates it back to the project that I've got up here. So when I come into the project, all of those will be listed here as open tasks, which is really cool. So if I close all those up, you can then see that it's also listing out all the different ideas that I talked about and tagging those as project notes and relating those to the project. So then when I come to work on my project, I've got a few different ideas and they show up in my project under notes and meetings. Okay, so now I can look at the 3 types of AI commands, AI command examples, the Copilot knowledge management system, the Tana specific prompting techniques. And so now I've got a whole lot of stuff to actually start the project. And this took me maybe 5 minutes of just talking. Okay, so let me show you how this one works. If we go into project note, come down to AI and commands. Now this one we do want to have in the compact menu. As I said, I don't run this automatically because not every project note is about a kickoff, but it runs exactly the same on an Ask AI command. And the prompt looks really similar, okay? I'm going to talk in freeform and go through all the things in regards to a new project. And then I'm going to give you a transcript of those. You're going to clean that up, extract tasks that I mentioned, okay? Then go through all the ideas, okay? I tell it to kind of like synthesize the ideas, not just list each one. And then we have the Tana paste format, okay? So it's looking for the related project field and it inserts it as a Tana reference. And then it's listing any details. It's got the output format, and then it's also got the source, okay? So the transcript and the context of the node, okay? So what the context means is it's pulling all of this information connected to related project, that kind of thing. And that's how it can then relate those tasks to the right project. And as I said, again, I run this on Claude Sonnet because a lot of the times I need it to really go deep into the ideas and make sure that I get them right so that they make sense. You know, if I look at them 3 months from now, I can still kind of understand where that came from. So now instead of spending an hour trying to organize all of my thoughts into the perfect project plan, I can just talk for about 5 minutes and Tana does all of the organizing. So these 3 workflows are just the beginning, right? I hope they show you how you can actually take your voice and then have Tana organize all of that in a structured way. And so you might want to take these and start to create your own voice workflows. If that's the case, I've got a few little tips on how to actually prompt AI in Tana to get this structured output. Now you've seen me talk about some of this, but let's just go over what we talked about. Okay, so when you want to reference something, so when you want to, if there's already something in Tana you want to kind of insert as a reference, then I always use double brackets. Okay, and then the name of your thing, and then close those double brackets. That's going to tell our AI and Tana to insert this as a reference. Okay, now we did the same thing for a tag. Okay, so if you want a specific tag, use a hashtag, double bracket, the name of the tag, and then close those double brackets, okay? The other thing that works really well is explaining how to output as Tana paste. So you saw that in all of the prompts that I used. So how Tana paste works is I would usually have like input, and then I'd tell it, you know, how to tag something, okay? Now with Tana paste, if you open this up, then you want to just put a dash, and then if you want any fields, you want to kind of put the field name and then 2 semicolons, and then anything else that you want to add, you just, not a chat, you just keep adding those in here, okay? So I find that works really well, and AI kind of, when you explain how Tana paste works and the output that you want, it really does structure everything really well. The other thing that I would try is different models. So different models kind of interpret things in different ways. I love to use Claude, but I find as well, if you're just kind of extracting things, ChatGPT is great for that, and so is Gemini. So just try each one and see what works best for you. And really, if all else fails, files, what you can do is you can open the GPT monitor to see some of the inputs and outputs. Okay, so if you go Command K and go open GPT log monitor, what will happen is a new window will open with the GPT monitor. Okay, this is what it looks like. And basically what you can see here is if I click in here in generic AI query, then you can see on this side the request. So this is everything that was sent off to AI. And on this side, the response, everything that came back. So when you're seeing what's being sent off, you might notice like, oh, you know what? I forgot to add the context in, or the source isn't here, or it's not picking up something. And so it just kind of gives you clues in terms of like, you know, why it might not be giving you the output that you need. And then also it can show you the output. So you can see kind of some of here, like, you know, how it's structuring. And this is all Tana paste, right? So the way it's coming back in is through Tana paste, and it is, you know, structuring things like this. And, you know, you've got your field here. This is how it structures like specific references, those kinds of things. So it's really just, you know, a way just to kind of, I find it helpful. If I'm not getting the right response, I open GPT log monitor, and quite often I'll immediately see like, oh, actually, it's not expanding the references, or it's not, I forgot to put the source material in that, you know, that does happen. And so it's just a good way to kind of see what's working in your prompts. And just like that, you've eliminated some of the biggest bottlenecks in knowledge work, the gap between what's in your head and getting it organized into your system. Now you have a chief of staff working for you every time you record a voice note. Now, speaking of running your business with AI, I actually covered the 5 GPTs I use inside Tana to handle my entire solo operation in this next video. And don't forget, if you want to build a high-performing knowledge system in Tana, then check out my Tana Fast Track course. And for more content like this, like and subscribe to the channel.